For the last video, we talked about three types of simple sentences and compound sentences with and. For this video, we will quickly review compound sentences with and then learn about two new types of compound sentences. Look at sentence number 1. You will see two independent clauses. This means that each part of the sentence could be a separate independent sentence. This is the first independent clause, and this is the second independent clause. Compound sentences are made from two independent sentences or ideas that we join together with a connector. This is our connector and. The compound sentences with and has two subjects and two verbs. Let's identify the subjects and the verbs. This is the first subject, and this is the first verb. And down here we have the second subject and the second verb. Also notice the punctuation between the two independent clauses. Here's our connector with and we have a comma that comes right before the. The connector and is used when we want to add additional information. If you look at sentence number 2, you will see the same thing. We have a subject and a verb. It's a negative verb. We have another subject, and we have another negative verb. Remember that negative verbs have two parts. Here's our connector with and you can see there is a comma in front of the word and. Now look at sentence 3 and sentence number 4. You will notice that the connector in sentence 3 and sentence number 4 is but. Here's one, and here is another. Notice that the punctuation is the same. The comma comes before the connecting word. We use but when we want to show two opposite or contrasting ideas. In sentence number 3, what are the opposite ideas here? You can borrow someone's back tires in Bybanks, Kentucky, but you cannot do this in Washington, D.C. In sentence number 4, Mrs. Winterbottom is telling George that she did not find the cereal that he likes, but she did find something very similar, and it's okay, he will probably like that. In sentence number 5, John tries to comfort Sal's mom by hugging her. It does not work, and she continues to cry. These are the contrasting ideas. He tries to comfort her, but he could not do it. She's continued to cry. In sentence number 6, what is Sal saying? She is saying that she tried to imagine Lewiston, Idaho, but her mind would not go forward to a place that she had never seen. Here's your connector but to show that the ideas are contrasting. Use sentences with but when you want to make a point about two ideas that do not go together. In fact, they are opposite ideas from each other. They contrast each other. For the last kind of compound sentence, we will talk about so. We use so to talk about a reason and a result. The first part of the sentence is the reason, and the second part of the sentence is the result. So here is the reason. We did not have the correct change for the parking meter. And what did Gramps do? The result is that he wrote a long note about how he was a visitor from Bybanks, Kentucky. The reason there's a problem, and the reason that Gramps cannot pay for the parking meter is because he doesn't have the money. And that's the reason he will write a letter to see if he can get excused from paying parking. Actually, in the book, he has a long list of reasons why he shouldn't have to pay for parking. In sentence number 8, we see that Sal and her grandparents are hungry, and that's the reason they have tea and muffins. It's the result. So we had lemon tea and blueberry muffins. The punctuation with the word so is the same as in all other cases. You get a comma and then the connector. The next two sentences do not come from the novel. They are my comments. You can use these sentences, of course, to tell about your own ideas and opinions. Gramps stops to rest, and the reason is that he was tired from driving. So Gramps was tired, so he pulled into a rest stop to get some shut-eye. What do you think shut-eye means? In the next sentence, Sal became afraid. That is the result of the fact that she thought Gram and Gramps had left. So we have Sal thought Gram and Gramps had left. That's the reason. So the result is that she became afraid. For homework, look through chapters 9 to 12 and try to find examples of these types of sentences. We will do more work with them in class on Tuesday.